In my last video, I talked about the concept of toxic masculinity and its relation to sexual selection, namely how women were attracted to stoic, strong men who are wired to sacrifice financially and emotionally for women. And I talked about how this shapes traits in men that feminists end up whining about and calling toxic, even as they enjoy exploiting those very traits. A female viewer showed up in the comments, essentially agreeing with what I said, and then asking a question with a hint of snark peeking through the text. "So what do you want women to do?" she asked. "It's true, we are attracted to masculinity. What do you want us to do? Change what we're attracted to?" Well, it's a fair question, and by golly, the least I can do is answer her. That's coming up next on An Ear for Men. Hi everyone, Paul here again. Welcome back to An Ear for Men, where the truth will set you free after it breaks a foot off in your ass. Today I'm answering a question from viewer Jenna Ziller, asking if I thought women should stop their attraction to masculinity, if they should quit being turned on by powerful, gullible, sacrificially inclined men. Now, there's a couple of ways to answer that question, but I'll be giving the most important answer first. What do I want you to do, Jenna? Well, truth tell, Cupcake, I don't give a damn what you do or don't do, because this isn't about you. These videos are produced for the benefit and entertainment of men. And as you go through my rapidly expanding library of work, you will see that idea repeated over and over again. The only thing that matters to me is men having better options, especially when dealing with women like you. I challenge men to take responsibility for their choices and not to feel guilty for showing a woman the door the moment he starts to feel like a pack animal or a pincushion, which with most women in this age is inevitable. So, in that sense, Ms. Ziller, your question is answered on the quick. No charge, pumpkin. I do it for the love. For the sake of the men in my audience, though, who expect more out of me than 2 minutes of stating the obvious, I'm going to explore another way of answering Jenna's question. A reminder first, though, of exactly what Jenna was referring to by the masculinity to which women are attracted. In the original video, I talked very specifically of the kind of masculinity that drives men to protect and provide for women at any cost, the kind that has men disregard their well-being, both financially and emotionally, in favor of women, because the cost for not doing so is sexual rejection. In other words, in order to be selected by women, you have to put them at the center of your universe, hopefully with the means to do it in style. The masculinity that attracts women is the masculinity of sacrifice and servitude. It is the masculinity that will turn you into a low-rent thug like Tim McGraw or a sycophantic quisling like Tucker Carlson. Indeed, the combination of money and a Mighty Mouse complex is humanity's most powerful pussy magnet. So, when Jenna Ziller talks about women being attracted to masculinity, she is talking about the version of it that comes with a payday, the kind that keeps men on a hamster wheel till they break down and die, or till they slow down and are replaced. She's talking about strength that is used on her behalf. She's talking about self-assurance that is obvious to the world, but never gets in the way of what she wants. She's talking about a contradictory form of power that can be shaped as easy as silly putty in her hands by her delicate little feminine fingers. She is talking about masculinity as an accessory in a woman's wardrobe, as something that she can use even as it drains the life out of its source, which she does not give one hoot about except in the false vision of herself that she has to construct so she can bear to look at herself in the mirror when she paints her face. Now, I've already given Jenna the answer to her question. It is not that she needs to do anything. It is men who would benefit by taking action, And I say that knowing that precious few of them actually will. Red pill men are the rare breed who overcome, or at least strive to, millions of years of biology and social programming. They repel shame the same way water repels oil. They are, each one, a modern-day Diogenes following the path of romantic asceticism. And they don't know or care anything about what Jenna Ziller needs to do. But as I said, this channel is as much about entertainment as it is education. So for the sake of regular viewers, I'm going to give Ziller some answers to her question regardless of whether she confuses that with caring. Jenna, there is actually an approach you can use that won't just be good for men. It will also make you a better person. And you don't have to give up one bit of your attraction to masculinity to do it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you and the man you're with go out to a nice dinner. You're in a dark, cozy corner of a bistro. Some very sexy music is playing and the wine is flowing. You're both tipsy and discreetly touching and playing kissy face in the shadows. His musky masculinity is filling all your senses, and your paleo instincts are giving you that tingle. One of you, and it doesn't matter which one, says something about getting out of there and heading to a more private setting. The idea sounds so good you wish you were already there, him tearing your clothes off like they were paper mache. There's only one thing left to do. Find your fucking purse and pay half the bill. After all, his masculinity doesn't change because you carry your own financial weight. He's still a man, right? He's still masculine, right? Or does reaching for your purse feel like a cold shower? Is doing the math on your share of finances a vaginal desiccant? If so, what you can do, as long as you're so curious about doing things, is figure out there's a difference between a man and a John, and for that matter, a woman and a whore. All of those things should be really easy to tell apart. Well, unless you desperately want the luxury of believing you're at a station in life that's above walking Main Street in $5 hooker couture. Now, if this is not an option your purchasable sense of womanhood can entertain, there's another option. Skip the dinner, the wine, the romantic preludes, and the rest of your dog and pony show, and just have him toss some money on the dresser when he's done. You get it all that way. The dick, the cash, and the short-term passion. And you get to have your integrity, which probably doesn't matter to you, but if you ever mature, it certainly will. After all, most whores are just honest women. Most women are just dishonest whores. By the way, that is just as much an indictment of men as it is women. Men get what they pay for, and they are notoriously poor shoppers. At any rate, those are your two options for following your attraction to what you call masculinity. I'd like to think that if I were a woman that I would look for a different path. Then again, I like free shit as much as the next person, and I shudder to think what my path would have been if the world was full of women who measured their worthiness by how much money they squandered and how often they kissed my ass trying to get me into bed, or by how many of their basic needs they ignored to give mindless priority to my whims. It's hard to find too much fault in anyone for being attracted to that, especially if they were trained in it from birth. Still, it doesn't mean you have to call it something other than what it is. Mistaking free shit, ass-kissing, and enabling for masculinity is luxury-level delusion, and one that we only extend to women. And it doesn't matter if Jenna Ziller or any other woman gets that. In fact, trying to convince them of it is just like trying to reason a 4-year-old out of the last cookie in the jar. The only thing we can try to do is show as many men as possible that when they puff up their chest because women like Ziller find them attractive, they are the very definition of masculinity on its knees. And that is it for another Talk from an Ear for Men. As always, I hope you've enjoyed, even if you haven't, and see you next time.